Hi friends, it's Gwen. So I am back to do another bit of an unhaul. I know I just did a massive one, but while I was watching that video, I noticed that looking at my shelves in the background, I noticed that there were still a lot of books that I didn't want. So I have pulled those off. They're actually sitting in a stack over here. And I also, 4 books that I was on the fence about, The Distance from Me to You, Rosemarked, Unseen Messages, and A Court of Thorns and Roses. I took it upon myself. I was really proud of myself, actually. Last night, instead of reading what I was currently reading, I read the first chapter of those 4 books. One of them had a prologue, so I read that too. I read like the prologue in chapter 1. And I have decided which ones I am keeping, which ones I am giving away, and I will share that with you in this video as well. But for now, I want to go ahead and organize my shelves. This is my Patricia Cornwell up here. You can kind of see it up there. So that's the very top of my bookshelf. I want to move them a little bit now because I moved some stuff from like over there. This is my little duster and I can already see like so much dust. But I'm going to go through again. I am also reorganizing my bookshelf. And as I clean, I will decide if there are any other books that I need to get rid of. And then at the end, I will show you all of the books that I am unhauling. Are you ready? Let's do this. my God, you guys. Okay. I have finished with my shelves other than decorating, which I will do later. But first, I want to show you those 4 books from the last Unhaul video that I set aside and decided that I wanted to hang on to. If there were any that I wanted to hang on to, if I was going to unhaul any of those. So let's get to those 4 books first, and that's 8. So those 4 books first. Again, the books were The Distance from Me to You. I picked this up at Book Outlet, and it's a contemporary story about 2 friends that plan to, they defer their first year of college, so they're going to hike the Appalachian Trail from Maine to Georgia, or Georgia to Maine, however. And then the friend backs out, and McKenna decides to hike it on her own. I read the first chapter of this last night, and I have decided that I'm still on the fence about it, but it seems like it was setting a lot of groundwork, so I am going to keep this. This is going back on my shelves. This is one I'm keeping. The next one that I tried was Rosemarked by Olivia Blackburn. Yes, Blackburn. And this is a fantasy story about a 17-year-old girl that goes through the trials of becoming a healer, and she does become a healer, and kind of what transpires after that. It is a fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy, but I have to say this book hooked me from chapter 1, so I am actually going to keep this one. Next one is Unseen Messages by Pepper Winters. Pepper Winters is a self-published author. She has several books out. I have some on my shelves back there. I didn't know about this one because it's kind of chunky, but I read, this is the one that had the prologue. Yes, this is the one that had the prologue, so I read like the 1-page prologue with like a little bit on the back, and then chapter 1 of this, and I am intrigued where the story is headed, so I am keeping this one as well. And then the last book of those 4 is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and this is one that I got from one of those book mooch sites where you like send people books and then you get credits, and then you can use your credits to get other books. Yeah, so I got this one a while back. It's been sitting on my shelves. I was super excited about it initially just because of the buzz on BookTube of this author and this series, but I read chapter 1 and I didn't like it. It's fantasy. I don't like the writing. It's not something like the writing. It's the writing. I can't explain it, what it is about the writing that I don't like. But yeah, I don't like this. I'm unhauling this. It's going into the unhaul pile. So of those 4, I'm keeping these 3. So I will put those on my shelves later. But now let's go into the other stack of the huge stack. It's actually is 16 additional books on top of my 69 that I unhauled just last night. So those books, of course, I just told you, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I'm getting rid of quite a few arcs. Actually, I'll just show all of the arcs at once. So these are some arcs that I'm getting rid of. I loved A Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares by Crystal Sutherland, but it's an arc and I just want to own a finished copy of it. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I was hanging on to this because of the YA BookTube Awards. It's one of like the finalists, I believe. And I wanted to have this to like hold up, but that's stupid. I really don't need it. I could get it from the library or whatever, but I did enjoy this one. What I loved about this is that it was super gruesome and like had me on the edge of my seat, but the ending kind of sucked. So okay, Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. I keep seeing this in the bookstore. I keep saying if I'm going to own a copy, I should just get that one. I believe the one in the bookstore is like signed and everything. I did like this one, but if you're familiar with The Talented Mr. Ripley, it's basically the same story, but with a female lead instead of a male lead. So I really did enjoy it, but it just was so similar. Then I read All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. I read this over Booktubeathon and I enjoyed it, but if I'm going to continue, I don't even know if this is just like a standalone or what, but if I want it, I can get it in like its finished copy. And then I also read Things I'm Seeing Without You by Peter I don't know how to say his last name. This one was really good as well. It's a very good contemporary story dealing with like death and life and moving on. It's complicated, but it's hopeful, and I really did like this one, so I might pick this up at a finished copy as well if I wish. I got this on my trip to Richmond this past summer, City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. I haven't heard from people that enjoy like thriller mysteries that they enjoyed this that much. I don't really see me picking this up, especially since I haven't heard that great of reviews. I'm also getting rid of The Joy of Less, A Minimalist Guide to Declutter, Organize, and Simplify. I loved this book. I got a lot out of this book. I have tons of tabs in here and notes in here, and I wish that I could keep this, but I don't think that it's something that I need to relive or have on my shelf for reference. But I love the streamline method. It's ingrained into my head because it does have the acronym. So yeah, I want to pass this on to someone else and maybe hope that this helps them in the new year. I'm also getting rid of Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve, however you say her name. I really did enjoy this one as well, but it's just like a standalone, and I love the cover, but I'm not going to reread it, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm also getting rid of Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I really enjoyed this one, and I did tab it and like write little notes and stuff like that. And my original plan was to continue on. I know the second book is out. I believe it's called Fireblood, and I was interested in continuing on, but if I'm being honest with myself, I don't want to invest in another fantasy series that I read the first book, it's another year before the second book comes out, and then it's another year before the third book comes out, and then at the end I'm just kind of left like not totally enjoying my experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I enjoyed this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and end that journey here. Okay, my last stack of books. I'm getting rid of Haverty Grace and In the War of 1812, Fire on the Chesapeake, and this is by Heidi L. Glattenfelter. This is the first author that I met like in real life, and she signed the books, and it's actually personalized to me. It says, "To Gwen, long live Haverty Grace," and then she signed it. This was very informative, and I think that someone else might really enjoy this story. So even though it is personalized and signed to me, I'm not going to reread it, so I'm going to let it go. Also getting rid of my copy of Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell is one of my favorite authors. I love her contemporary stories, but this Harry Potter-esque like fanfic thing just didn't work for me, so I'm gonna let it go. And also, I love contemporary. It's probably like my #1 favorite genre. As anybody that watches my channel, you probably know this. But I read Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I enjoyed it, but I thought it was okay. I didn't love it as much as everybody else did. And the next one by her is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and again, I enjoyed it, but I just didn't love it. It's not one of my all-time favorite contemporaries. So surprisingly, I'm going to get rid of these, but I think that someone will find them and they'll be so excited. So I'm going to get rid of those. Yes, I have decided to get rid of this collector's edition of Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Well, I say collector's, but it's really like a special edition because it has like a different dust jacket than the normal one it came with. I got this in my owl crate, that's why it had the different cover. And I read it and I just thought it was okay. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it. I'm not like a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, but I loved all of her other books, and I'm just gonna get rid of it. And then I also decided to get rid of I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I really did enjoy this story, but I don't see myself rereading it. I guess out of all the books here, this is the one I'm a little hesitant to get rid of, but I did mention it in my last, like my huge unhaul video, that I probably should get rid of it, and then here I am saying I'm going to get rid of it. So I think I'm just going to get rid of it, and then if I decide to get it, I'll get another copy. But of course, if I get another copy, it's going to have all the stickers and stuff of all the awards that it won, and this is like one that did not come with any of those stickers. So that's kind of cool. It was really good, but I'm going to let it go because I don't plan on rereading it. So that is my complete unhaul of 2018. I have tons of room on my shelves for new books that I want to get this year and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these with my other books to unhaul, and then I will take them to either the book exchange in Norfolk, or I will take them to my library for their library book sale. But that's all for today's video. It's been an exhausting experience going through and like getting rid of this many books. My husband even saw the pile and he was like, "You're getting rid of all those books?" And I was like, yes I am. So I do feel much better. I think I'll feel even better once they're out of my house. But that's all for today's video. Let me know what you thought of this massive unhaul, reorganization, crazy video time. But I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and then yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.